Okay, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our seminar is about to begin. Please have a nice seat. Thank you very much for preparing yourself to join our seminar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. My name is Kiki, and I am the moderator of today's seminar. I'm very pleased to see you all here and welcome all of you to our first seminar. This seminar is conducted by Eduversal. This seminar will discuss about creating an effective and engaging online learning. To be precise, we will talk about the feature in teleconferencing tools called Zoom and learning management system called Google Classroom. The speaker today is Mr. Andry Hidayat. He is head of biology department in Eduversal. Now allow me to welcome the speaker, Mr. Andry, to deliver his presentation. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Andry with a round of applause. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Nice to have you in our first webinar session. Directly I will share my screen with you. And let's start the session. So can you see the screen? Okay, right now we have at least 31 participants. Okay, today we will talk about the particular topic, which is the creating an effective and engaging online learning environment using the Zoom and Google Classroom tools. You can say they are nowadays is very popular and also free. So without further ado, let's start. So this is a little bit about me. I'm now it's biology teacher in Karisma Bangsa and also working in Eduversal. You can reach me through this email, andry@eduversal.net. So this is our objective for today. We will talk about what is the online learning, and then there are information about the theoretical part of technological integration in learning process. We call them as the technological pedagogical content knowledge. Yet another competence that needed for educators, and our main focus is Zoom application and also for Google Classroom. And if we have time at the end, we will talk about a little bit about tips for online learning from educators around the world. So before we start in digging in our topic, I want to make some survey, a little bit to interact with you. Right now we have almost 50 participants. So I want you to go to the menti.com using your mobile devices or your browser in PC if you online using PC or laptop, and use this code 655349 to participate in the survey. So in our my share screen, you can see also how to get to the survey website, menti.com. Okay, go to this website using your phone or your browser, and you can write down the code. Some of you already answered the first question. It is about describe with words what do you understand about online learning. Now we have one participant. We still have plenty of participants here. In this survey we have at least 4. We can make it a little bit quick. So for some of you, typing delivering lesson by communication, collaboration, distance, feedback. There are flip, effective, flexibility. This is from 4 persons. maybe a little bit delaying because of internet connection. And yeah, we have a popular word, which is distance. And as you can see from the result board here, so the more bold of the word, it means they are very popular, and most of you type this word. Flexible technology. Okay, so I think yeah, it somehow can give us ideas. What is this about online learning? In your opinion, distance learning, technology, internet, and so on. I move to the next questions. You can also directly see your mobile phone again to answer these tools. Which tools are you familiar with when conducting an online learning? I believe most of you already starting to do this online learning, because everyone now it's working from home. There's Zoom, there's Classroom, obviously, there's Socrative, quizzes. Okay. Modo, some you type crazy. Okay, so we have little several ideas about the tools when conducting online learning. Obviously, the popular one is Zoom and Google Classroom here. Some of you type Quizlet, Edpuzzle, Edpodo. That's the environment for learning management system. Yeah. Okay, so I move to next questions. What do you think are the limitations of an online learning system? So we have many benefits, obviously, but there are some limitations that teachers face today in order to conduct this online learning as effective as possible. Yeah, the internet connection, participation from the students, obviously, keeping students interested and engaged. Again, internet connection, lack of engagement. I think most of you think the same ideas about quota for internet connection, obviously. Short time, nowadays every school, I think, implement for one session for online teaching is about 20 minutes. So that short time is also limitation. Yeah, I think we already got the idea. Most of you have the limitation, as we know, for internet connection, for the main reason. And I will move to the next questions, I think. Yeah, we have small quiz for you. There are 18 people here joined. If you already joined, I can start. It is living. Only one question, I think. So what we are going to learn together in this webinar? So later on, if you want, in the next session or in the next webinar, we can talk about Mentimeter as well as one of the tools for conducting. Yeah, so 5% type flip classroom e-learning. So 9 participants answer correctly, Zoom and Google Classroom, and 1 still don't know yet what to do in the webinar. Okay, thank you everyone for your survey. So we move to the next slide. So what is an online learning? According to the International Association of K-12 Online Learning Initiative, it described that online learning itself normally have several characteristics. The first one is obviously the main reason or the main aims for the online learning is to enhance and expand the educational opportunities. So we don't limit our learning process only inside of the classroom, but we can go beyond that through this online learning approach. And then the second one, it's obviously still teacher-led approach. We can do this online learning, especially leading by the teacher itself, and it may be synchronous or it can be real-time, face-to-face like we are doing now in the Zoom, or asynchronous approach, which is you record some video and then let students learn from the video. And also it can be accessed from multiple settings. It can be inside of the school building or from home. It can be using teleconferencing tools like Zoom or without that. And yeah, the settings also, the environment for this online learning need to be communicated with teachers, with students, and also with parents as well. And as I mentioned in our overview, we will talk about this technological pedagogical content knowledge. It is introduced by Dr. Judy Harris and Dr. Mark Hover. They are educators that dealing with this conceptual or theoretical idea of how technological can be integrated into a learning process. So if you see in this Venn diagram, as you are maybe already familiar with, that educators or teachers, they should have deep understanding about their content, either they are science teacher or physical teacher or the other subject. They need to know, understand their subject very well. And also in the other part, they also need to know how to deliver the lesson, either in the normal class in the school or when they're doing the online learning station. So we call them as the pedagogical knowledge. But for technological integration, the other important factor is technological knowledge. And if we see in this Venn diagram, when they are merged like this, we have this interlinked area that we call the technological pedagogical content knowledge, or TPACK. So in order to learn more, you can go to this website, tpack.org. So this is another area that teachers nowadays need to understand well, how to integrate this technology into the learning process itself. So related with this approach from TPACK, as you can see here from the slide, I put some learning activity types that normally teachers doing in the normal condition in classroom. There are at least 20 types of learning activity, and this is also can be done using the technology integration, or we can do it in online learning, but we have limitation, as you mentioned before, like the time for the online learning session itself. But this is 20 types of learning activity can be done using online learning, and I want some ideas. You can type in Zoom chat, maybe which of these learning types activity that can be done using a online learning approach, to have some ideas about that one. All of them we can do it, or maybe only some of them we can possibly doing while doing online learning. Okay, so let me check the chat. Okay, so this is normal condition in the classroom. You can do this learning activity, but also you can introduce in through the online learning activity. For example, in lab, instead of doing a real lab, or you can record the lab activity in the school lab or in your home. It is a small activity, and then you can give the students the idea of the lab activity, or obviously you can use virtual lab activity in order to give students a learning objective related with the subject or the topics. Yeah. Thank you from Mr. Akib. Students may record and upload themselves voice or video. It's very good to explain their understanding. Yeah, the other important factor for learning, normally we need evidence, either whether the students learn or not. And this evidence can be given by students, or we can see the evidence from the assignment that is give, the reflection. Yeah. Okay, I'll go to our next slide. This is the main focus of our webinar today. So to conduct online learning, we need teleconferencing software if we want to do the synchronous learning approach, or and to set this face-to-face video conference out of many options like using Skype, Google Hangout, or Paper. Nowadays, the popular tools one is the Zoom. And why we use Zoom? Because normally they have a free account, and also they have secure line. They can for this outbreak session, they are increasing the duration, and normally only 40 minutes. And also the participation can join to the Zoom. It's I think now it's 100 people. So yeah, we will talk about a little bit details about the Zoom in a few minutes. So before I want to know about your understanding about Zoom before we dig in deeper with the Zoom. And I want you to go to the menti.com again, using this code 210173. Okay, let's have a quick survey about Zoom. Yeah, some of you already beginner user, never used it before. Even I doubt there is no participant here like using a pro user that using the Zoom for daily activity. Maybe the management. Okay, so out of 24, one per user. Yeah, you can help me during this session as well. Okay, so at least this is the picture about internet. And I want to move to the next questions. Can we do the asynchronous learning using the Zoom app? Maybe you remember. Asynchronous means you record the video and give it to the students, and then they will learn something from your video. But now, can be using the Zoom app or not? Okay. Okay, obviously, most of you think, it can be done. Yeah, I will. Yeah, normally we can do a synchronous learning approach using the Zoom app. You can record your lesson as a normal condition when you teach the subject, and then you can share to the student to their learning management system, or you can use the tools from Zoom itself. If you have a paid version of Zoom, you can record to the cloud. Okay, next. How likely are you to recommend Zoom app as a face-to-face online learning platform? Yeah, highly recommend. Some of you do not recommend using Zoom. Maybe you can write down in chat, what do you think? You don't want to recommend Zoom app as face-to-face online learning? Yeah, also using this Mentimeter, I show you how you can create an interactive slide that can also integrate in your online learning activity. Okay, from 35, most of you answering the recommend and highly recommend. Okay, thank you for survey. So let's back to the slide. So yeah, for basic, I think you already know how to use the Zoom. We can skip this one in the fact that you are joining this webinar using the Zoom application. And yeah, we will talk about some features about Zoom. First one is sharing the screen. So there are some questions. How do I share my screen? Can I share computer sounds? Can another participant also share their screen? What is the dual monitors features that can be found in Zoom? So to answer this questions, the answer is yes. You can add another participants if you allow. If you have, if you a teacher become a host in online learning, you can make the students also can share without permission if you allow them. And for may I share the computer sound? Yes, the answer is yes. When you sharing something, for example, there is option to share computer sound as well. Maybe you want to show the students some video, quick video, and then the video it's also include the voice, so you can share computer sound. Okay, and in order to share some screen, there are basically, if you see, can you see my service? I think there is not. So there are three types of how you can share your Zoom screen. It is basic, advanced, and you can use directly files from the cloud storage. So as a basic, you can share a whiteboard, as I will do right now. Yeah, this is a whiteboard, you can see. So you can share whiteboard, and you can have annotation with the whiteboard. I think later on we can talk about this whiteboard. Okay, you can share. In the basic, you can share the iPhone and iPad. You can mirroring this iPhone and iPad screen. It is very useful if you have iPad. And you want to use your iPad as the presentation screen, for example, you can do that. In advanced mode, you can only share the portion of your screen if you have dual screen or dual monitor. If you have large screen, you can do that very easily. You can share the computer sounds only, or you have second camera, you can do that. So basically, if you want to do the real face-to-face online learning, these features from Zoom is very useful. Let me back to the screen. Okay. So the next one is sharing a whiteboard, as I show you before. And this is the particular question: how do I share a whiteboard? Can other participants also write on it? Can I have more than one page? Can I have multiple whiteboard in a meeting? So yeah, basically the answer is yes, you can share the whiteboard. I will share the whiteboard right now. So this is the whiteboard. And how do you add more? For example, you already occupy all of this screen. For example, if you are a math teacher, you write down the formula or the solution of the question, and then you already, I think some participants also can join to make some annotation here. And how you add some pages, new pages. So let me see. If you see in the bottom corner here, you can see this plus symbol, and you can add. This is the second page. You can write this is second page, and then I will add again third page, and so on. So yeah, you can do this, and you can back to the previous screen, and yeah, maybe we can do this. Let's say we want to make a mind map, for example. Let's do the mind map. Zoom mind map. And you want all of the students do the annotation together, so you can invite them, and then you can draw something. You can draw with pencil. You can make a mind map, something like that. And yeah, this whiteboard features, they have more advanced feature if you using the mobile devices or devices that support for taking note in the screen. For example, the iPad with Apple Pencil, or another laptop that can have support with touch screen. It's also possible. How to invite students? Yeah, as you already know, to invite them here. Normally, if you look at your controls for the Zoom menu, in more session, in more option, you can see disable participation annotation, and you can show, for example, try to write down something in this board. There is this question: is the whiteboard available in the first version? Yes, the whiteboard also available in the free version, and you can add pages, as many pages as you want. So, for example, if I activate this function, show names of annotators, and if students annotate something in the board, you can see directly their names. There is Zikri, there is Mr. Akif. Okay. You can do the stamp, for example. You can do the spotlight if you want to explain something using the cursor spotlight. Yeah, you can use the stamp. You can clear all of the drawings, only your drawings or the viewer's drawings. For example, I clear the viewer's drawing, and they are gone. And yeah, you can do this as the collaboration type of work while you're doing the online learning, for example. Or you want to check the students' understanding for some particular learning objective, and you want to make them to write down their ideas in the whiteboard. But I think you can also use, if you have Promethean board in your school and you download and install the Promethean application in your PC, you can share their screen. And then if you have support touchscreen devices, you can also use that. But this is including in the Zoom app, so this is very good for us, for people in order to collaborate with students using the annotation or the whiteboard with the annotation. So if I turn off the participants annotation feature, right now you cannot do the annotation. Let's uncheck. If the students keep on drawing, how to stop that, sir? Yeah. Right now, try to write down something in the board. Can you do that? No, right? Because I don't allow participants to annotate. There are options there. Yeah. And now if I allow, you can use the annotation. This is your working area, and yeah, you can do it as traditional as you always do in classroom, for example. But how about if you don't have, for example, touching devices support? You may need some second, for example, second application in your mobile phone, for example. For example, you host the online learning through Zoom using your laptops, and then you want to make some annotation or some drawing, or even make a solution for mathematical task, for example. You can record, or you can use your second devices and then turn in the camera, and yeah, you can share the screen from your mobile devices while your camera is turned on, and every participant or every student can see how you do the solution for your question, for example. But yeah, that's a little bit more advanced. Okay, so I think this is enough for the annotation, and you can make as many pages as you need, and you can review the pages that they already have. Okay, so I will back to the slide. So yeah, I believe you already did this one to make the annotation in Zoom using the whiteboard. So the next one is using polling. So how can I create a poll? How can I launch a poll? And can I download the report of the poll results? Normally these features only you can see in the paid version, but I will show you how this works. So for example, I have polling right now. There are 3 questions, and when I launch the polling, you will see in your screen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Can you see in your screen there's a polling, a survey, and I want you to answer the polling. There are 3 questions. Can you see the polling?
I cannot see the polling.
You cannot see the polling. Okay.
I can.
Where is the polling? Okay, let me edit first. I don't know whether this polling it's only for paid version account only, or we can share it. It's in the basically this is the features if you want to add polling, for example, and whether you want to participant being anonymous or not. For example, you want to answer like yes or no question. Is an online learning system type yes or no question. But for this function using a polling, you can use, if you have a paid version of Zoom, you can use this one, or if you have a basic account, yeah, you can use another third part of application like Mentimeter that I will already show you. So yeah, this is only like explaining about we can have poll survey in the Zoom. So they're polling.
Maybe we can see the polling before.
You can see the polling before? Okay, let me relaunch the polling. I think there are some delaying, right? I relaunch the polling right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see, all right. I think, yeah, it's connection problem before. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the. Yeah, we have polling 41 out of 98, 42% vote. And maybe I little bit forget to mention about if you want to do annotation without using Whiteboard, you can do that. Only just activate the annotate, and then you can annotate whatever you want in the screen. Okay. For example, you don't want to open the Whiteboard, and you explaining it using the Google slide or using the PowerPoint, so you directly can annotate the Google or the screen. Okay. So you can save the drawings or you can delete them. So that's another possible. So yeah, 50% vote, and I will end the polling. And yeah, I will share, for example, maybe you can type in chat if you see the sharing poll results. Can you see it? Yeah, there's the polling there. So about 80% saying yes for it's only learning, easy to use or not. Zoom to facilitate face-to-face online. 7% pick no, and the other one, do you know how to create a class in Google Classroom? There are 6 participants doesn't know yet about how to create a class on Google Classroom. Okay, so I will stop share and we move to the next slide. And there are another features that can help us engage with the students, which is the breakout rooms. I think this is also can be found in the free version of Zoom app. So if you want to activate breakout rooms, you can go to the settings. For example, you go to the your Zoom profile and go to the settings. Yeah, normally it is being non-active, so you need to activate them and go to the meetings. You can go Control F and try to find breakout. So this is the breakout rooms. Yeah, you can activate them. You can do this allowing hosts to assign participants to breakout rooms when scheduling. Yeah, you can do the scheduling process before you host a meeting, online meeting using Zoom. So let's talk about these breakout rooms. So first I will disable participation annotation first. Okay, so how can I break out rooms? When to use it? And what is the example of assignment conducting using this breakout? Normally, Zooms they provide this feature in order, like if you're attending some, let's say, a bigger seminars, right? And then after the keynote speaker, you will have a breakout session or the parallel session. And for example, the parallel session in the group 1 or room number 1, they're explaining about the online learning. In room 2, they're explaining about the Zoom application. In the room 3, they're explaining about the Google Classroom, for example. Or in daily activity, in daily teaching, if you design your lesson using like you provide at least more than one activity and you want to do it in parallel time, you can do this using the breakout rooms. For example, you have 20 students and then the first 5 students, you want them to access quizzes. The next 5 students, you want them to write down something, a small assignment, and the other groups, you want them to access another tools or another website. So you can use these breakout rooms in order to do that. Or if you want small groups doing this collaboration work, you can also use this breakout room. So let's see how these breakout rooms work. We have 100 participants right now, and I will assign you in, for example, 5 rooms, and there will be 19 to 20 participants per room if I create the room. And yeah, if I open, you will go to the design the particular rooms. You will separate from this main Zoom rooms. So right now, if you open manage participants, you will not see 100 people again. You only see like 19 or 20%, right? So breakout room 1, breakout room 2, breakout room 4, breakout room 5, and yeah, there are 5 rooms, and the host can broadcast a message to all. For example, breakout room 1, please do this quizzes assignment, and then you will see the message, and yeah, you can broadcast to the specific or in general. And okay, so hello everyone. And if some students or participants need help, they can invite. So that's breakout rooms. And the next one, it's attendee attention tracking. So if you see how to manage participant features or button in your screen, and then you can see whether the participants or students it's not paying attention within this 30 seconds. If they're using video and they are not paying attention with video in 30 seconds, so Zoom app will show some like small notification or some small sign in the participants list. So this particular, for example, Aditya Kemal, there are some sign here like a timer that it doesn't focus on the slide or the main screen, for example, in quite a while. So this is one of the features in Zoom in order to conduct maybe the online classroom management. So attendee attention tracking. It can we do this asynchronous. You can record the class by start Zoom, press the record button. You can do using the record on this computer or record to the cloud if you have this option, and teach your lesson in limited duration, and you end the meeting and send the link to the recording with detailed expectation, maybe including assignment. If you record using cloud recording, you can click the box that says require registration. I will show you the case here. But if you record them locally in your computer, for example, later on when you take the file from Zoom, they will divide it into video and also into the voice or sound file, and then you can combine it and then you can send it to the students. It can be using Google Classroom as the learning management system as well. So that's about recorded class. I will show you about recording. So if you cloud recording, and then this one, for example, you can share, and this one on demand, registration required, you click yes, and then you share the link to the students, and when they are open, they need to sign in, so you already know who watched the video. Or you can maybe share it using Edpuzzle application if you want to track. So this is the video from recording. Okay, so you can do the asynchronous type of learning activity using Zoom. Okay, so next one, virtual background. As you see my video right here, I use the virtual background. If you want to keep everything in your back, it's hidden, so you can use this virtual background. You can activate it by using, you can go to the video, there's option there, and choose virtual background. And you can you want while doing the presentation, so you can choose that option as well. Next one is a keyboard shortcut. This is also important. You can learn it from the website of the Zoom app as well. So there are some key features for help you in order to activate the feature of Zoom in rapidly. So you can use this keyboard shortcut. Okay, next one is tips and tricks how to teaching over video. Basically you need to mute all the participants in the beginning of the lesson. For example, you can do that. Create eye contact if you have the video, and check chat or your students if they have chatting or they have a question for you, and speak as if you are face-to-face while you're doing a lesson in the classroom. And sometimes you need to give the students a moment or a pause when you share document, you share, for example, your screen or the whiteboard. And sometimes we can use the pause if you want to do anything else in the screen, but you don't want to see you don't want the students see your activity, so you can do that as well. This is another tips and trick. I can share the slide later on if you want to learn more about this tips and trick. You can continue. So we already learned about how to use whiteboard annotation to promote question, comments, reaction in your class using Breakout. And this is also some important idea, or you can use this, have students to be a presenter or sharing projects with the class. You can assign them as a host or a co-host in the Zoom meeting online. So sometimes you can assign students to become a presenter. Okay, next one. Yeah, this is tips from Zoom. This is for students. Yeah, you can later on read about this one. We need also to emphasize the rules when we are conducting online learning through the Zoom application, for example. So some best practice while in Zoom meeting, some points you need to remember. First, you need to stay signed in before the student, and also need to check this. You can turn off him. If you have more internet connection, you can turn on and set camera levels. And the important factor, be yourself and have fun while doing this online learning activity. And for more information, you can go to this link, Zoom for COVID-19. They have several information how to educate over Zoom. They have documentation there. You can read later on. Okay, so we talk about most of these features. This is features that help us to engage with the participants or students while using this Zoom application. We already attended attention tracking. We already talked about that. Maybe this one, nonverbal feedback. As you see when you click the manage participants in your control menu, you will see this one. There is yes, no, go slower, go faster, more. For example, if you want to go copy break, you can make this one close, go faster. So host will see how many participants have feedback using the non-verbal. For example, if you ask question and then some of you click yes or no, so this is non-verbal. It means that it doesn't need chat, or it doesn't need you to speak. You can try to communicate through the symbols. Okay, and you can use chat at the end. I think we talk about almost all of them about Zoom.